All right, let's get this show on the road. How's everybody doing? Can you guys hear me okay out there? I certainly hope so. I'm gonna set a couple things up here. Excuse me. We'll wait and give it a minute here. I want to show you guys a few things that we've discovered since yesterday. There was actually even a patch to Farm Expert 2017 relatively quickly. It came before I got up this morning, so they are working out some of the issues. It has a long way to go, but we're going to show you a few new things that we didn't touch on yesterday in just a minute. I see a few names out there. Could you guys hear everything okay? See me okay? Or is it everybody dead? Anybody? Okay, thank you, HC. Alright, so we're going to get started here today. Farm Expert 2017. One of the things I wanted to show you right off the bat is if you have it downloaded in Steam and you click your properties and browse your local files, it'll bring you right to the Farm Expert 2017 directory, which there are a few things in there that actually help out a little bit. There is a README PDF file. Let me bring this over here for a minute. Farm Expert 2017 does have a few tips in the document, specifically how to set up a server. It's still iffy. Big Daddy and I did get it to work, but he had to host and I could not host it using the program that they have here. We set it up correctly, and we were the only people I think that got it to work for a little while earlier. But that's one of the documents in there. You guys could check out the PDF. If you did not get the PDF, for some reason Avast is deleting it as a virus threat. It seems to be fine. So if you're running Avast and the PDF's not there, you'd actually have to do a reinstall to get that document. Let me move this over again. Secondly, we have a news.txt file. I believe that's the one. And this is what they did for improvements. 9.2.2016 version 1.106. I guess this is where they're going to keep their version notes. They improved grass on farm with animals, improved levitating tree, whatever that means. Modified 3 tractors collision messes, better parameters for far away depth of field. I think that stands for DOF. More precise info about spraying herbicide, fungicide, and pesticides by plane. Better parameters for vehicle suspension, inertia, wheel mass, and bumpiness, and adjustments to tractor torque are the additions that they did yesterday. Let's see. There was also a... Let me go back out here. See what console editor text. I have no idea what that is, but it's a text file. And there's failed to load send. I guess that's your console. That's where there's any errors that pop up. So that's the file to send them if you're having issues. Post that up there. That was with the editor. This the console. All right. Speaking of the editor, there is actually, and this is exciting to me, this exe file, areditor.exe. And I'm not going to get into it because it's complicated. There's no documentation. But hopefully, over time, we'll run this. We'll learn a little bit more and more about it. And I'll show you what this is here. Farm Expert. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me see if I can remove my little thing up there. Da 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 da. Where is it? I don't know. I was going to try to move the display because it's covering up a lot of the menus. But I can't overlay. There we go. Alright. So there's a file, and I'm gonna just open one of the maps. It's open world. Well, we'll pick world number 1. I don't know what gory one. I guess that's one of the maps because there are 4. But I'm gonna pick one of the maps, and we're gonna open it up in the editor real quick to show you that there actually is an editor with a ton of features up top that I have no idea what they are. They're labeled, but how to use them, that's the trick. So it does take a little while, but you'll see we are in the editor. Now, there's terrain editing, prefabs and painting, sockets, texture manager, animations manager, effects manager, general options, world properties, Bezier, hide and unhide, tools, edit, and so on. So you can pop up terrain editing, for example, and it has all these new options, and I can't even wrap my head around it right now until I get some type of tutorial. There's create new terrain and all this crazy stuff. But what I wanted to show you, and I had to get this from the forums too, how to move around is you have to hit the O key, hold the O key down, and then you can use your mouse to travel forward with the left mouse button and back out with the right mouse button, and you can actually zoom around the world in the editor that they have here. These are field markers of some sort. So yeah, they are giving you access, and I know for a fact that you can do things like click on objects. Oh, I'm on the terrain editing, so we want to shut off terrain editing. I think if I click on a tree, for instance, I might even be able to delete it. Yep, with the delete button. So it's going to take some time to get used to, but the editor is in there, and it's kind of exciting that modders will be able to create their own worlds. We need some documentation because this is all new to us on how they do it. But Farm Expert 17 editor is available if you purchase it and if you want to mess around with it. I am not going to do that yet, but I also don't want to save this map with any changes because this is running right off the... I never even tried. Let's do something real quick. If I click New World... Alright, cannot create a new world when a world is already loaded. So let's run this again and see what pops up if we create a new world. Just for the heck of it. And then we'll get into some gameplay in a few minutes. Let's see. Okay, so we want to go to File, New World. And we have, I think you're just going to end up with a big empty, we don't even have a terrain. We're in the sky. Yeah, that's what I figured. So I guess if we did terrain edit and create new terrain. Huh. Where's my terrain? I can't even move in and out. I don't even know which way I'm going. I guess I am moving, but I can't see anything. So yeah, I'm going to need some lessons on that for sure. We'll figure it all out eventually, probably. Let's see. Let's get out of there. So I just wanted to let you know there is an editor for maps right in there. I don't know anything about the vehicles, how that's done or anything, but it's all there. So, promising. They actually gave us an editor for maps. Let's boot up the game here. And I'm going to delete this one here. And I'm going to start a new game because I realized something. I'm going to call it Solar Valley. Solar Valley has a crap load of cash to start. It's the best one to start if you want to do something different. Select free ride. We're going to go for a free ride on Solar Valley. Free ride is just open play and start the game. I'm going to do everything single player tonight. We did multiplayer. It was really pretty bad last night, but we got through it. Hey there, Chetty and Net7, how you doing? Yep, looking at the editor. That's a new editor to mess around with. So, Solar Valley, one of the reasons why I want to start here is because, look at that, they give you $500,000 in cash to start off with. So, what I'm going to do is I'll drive. I'm going to drive my McCormick down, and we're not even going to start doing the planting of fields right now. I got a save game already started there with that stuff. You guys saw some stuff last night. This one thing about this game though, it can be a lot of work. So not that that's bad, but you've got to put in your time to make a little bit of money. I mean, I think I made $15,000 my first growing season with my 3 fields, and I spent 300,000 on equipment, so it's going to take a while. But we're going to do things a little different, and I was testing this to make sure everything would work. And that is, we're going to come down here to where the greenhouses are, and we're going to see if we can get some greenhouse work started, which is one of the features that you won't find in Farming Simulator. Solar Valley, yeah, new map name for FS17. Alright, so, it costs 100,000 euros to buy the greenhouses. We're going to buy them. That is done. We still have 400,000 left. Ouch, I don't know why it makes the noise like I fell off the tractor. But you get all of the greenhouses, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. So we're going to jump in here. 6 greenhouses means we can do... let's jump in, hit the M button. We're going to go to the agricultural center right here. And seedlings. Greenhouses grow these bottom 3, cucumbers, tomatoes, and peppers. And I know because I tested this that it's 270 pieces per greenhouse. So we're going to do 2 of each, which would be, what's that, 540. So let's get 540 cucumbers, 540 tomatoes, get 10 at a time, and 540 pepper seedlings. Spending a little bit of cash, but we'll get it done. So that will give us 3 greenhouses, 2 greenhouses of each. Once you have those, you go over to this little plant rack right here. And with the plant rack, you just hit enter and choose which ones. We're going to start with the cucumbers, so we'll click choose, and it pretty much loads the 540 cucumber seedlings on the player. Let me jump to F2 there. And you walk up to these rails and you can see where it is. Just left click and place your cucumbers, which is, I think this kind of stuff is awesome. We actually have to work the greenhouse. Now, it may seem tedious, but I have figured out that if you just keep walking and left clicking, rapidly left clicking, we can plant these rails pretty quickly. And you might miss a spot. You'll know if you have more than half of your seeds. We should have 270 left when we're done with this greenhouse to bring to the next one. So walking down the row and just dropping them real fast. You might even hear me clicking like crazy in the background. Another game video on animals. Yeah, giants. I can't wait. But this is kind of giving me a little bit of something to do and a little bit different. I bet you they don't have greenhouses like this yet. And it's not going to be the easiest thing, I can tell you that. There's still some issues I think they need to work on in the greenhouses as well. I did this part a little bit earlier, just set up one greenhouse to see if it's going to work. And then I just deleted it. So, starting it over. Fresh game so you guys can see how this is done. Might as well do some farming. But I think this is going to be the easiest way, especially on Solar Valley where you have the money to get all the greenhouses and all the equipment to do them, to get a game started and start earning cash without to buy the equipment to do the fields. That equipment to do all the fields, the combines and everything, man, it's expensive. So cucumbers, we should end up with 270 pieces for the next greenhouse. And we do have 270. So there's one cucumber greenhouse planted. And then we'll start down at this end with our second cucumber. Yeah, I'd love to figure out how to do something like this. And you know what? Who knows? I can look at it in the editor at least. So that alone is pretty cool to see how they're doing things in the editor. It might be something to take a look at. The greenhouses are here. I don't know how much we'll learn from it because it's probably mostly coded, but pretty cool stuff. It'd take a little time to set up all the greenhouses, but these are cucumbers. And wait till you see them when they're growing. It's pretty fantastic. If we get to that point without my finger going out on me. Yeah, they finally do have water built into Farming Sim. That is pretty cool. So a few more rails of cucumbers and we can move on to one of the other two, peppers or tomatoes. There we go. Now when we're done with this row we should be out of cucumbers completely. If we're not, I missed something. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, so we got all the cucumbers planted, 2 full greenhouses. Move up the road to the next greenhouse here. And we're going to go back over to the shelf and grab our tomatoes. So we have our tomatoes and repeat, same process. But now we're going to plant our tomato plants. One thing I got to do is slow down my time a little bit, I think, because I don't want to run out of time. Well, it's not running too fast, but 6 times speed. I like to run at 1 to make sure I can. Oh, I clicked save game. But there we go. I like to get everything done in a work day. Hey KW, how's it going? So these are the greenhouses. Like I said, this is not Farming Simulator. I have a feeling that if people were to actually get dynamic terrain the way it works in this game in Farming Simulator, there'd be more people complaining because you actually have to work to do your fields. The tractor bumps around, the speed, it's a trick. And it's a lot of work just to get through a season on one of these farms if you're doing fields. I mean, I literally did 3 fields and it took about 3 hours just to get them ready and harvested once. But that's because I had to spray. I actually learned how to spray the fungicide, the herbicide, the fertilizer, and my fields came out, and the insect repellent, and my fields came out awesome. So we'll take a look at that a little later if we don't get too crazy here. If it doesn't take too much time. So we'll plant the greenhouses. I've just been experimenting with different ways to start the game. Solar Valley, that's with the 500,000 starting cash, definitely helps quite a bit. So there's our tomatoes on greenhouse number 3, and now we do some more in 4. One more tomato greenhouse. You could do any, we might find that one sells better than the other, and that might be the one to actually plant next time through. But I'm going to experiment by doing 2 of each so we have an equal amount of all of them for now. It does have sort of like the soil mod built in, but not quite as crazy as the soil mod. You do have to pay attention to your fields though, so that's pretty cool stuff. Basically, you can't really compare this to FarmSim, but I think it has a lot to offer that FarmSim currently doesn't. That can make it interesting, but that's up to you guys to decide. I think that some of the stuff is just different, a break from the same old stuff. And the fact that modding is available, and if people do grab a hold of it, that means that, I mean, if you think about it, modders have come up with a lot of the ideas for Farming Simulator, and they might come up with some pretty awesome ideas for this as well, and the game will just keep getting better if they decide to tackle it. Somebody will. I don't know if they'll be any good, but right now, if you started it, you'd be the only one modding probably for Farm Expert 17. So your popularity would be through the roof on this game. Volcano Island on Farm Expert 17. I don't have a clue if how to use that editor yet. I'm waiting for some tutorials and some explanations. Hopefully they'll come out with some, because there is some, it's a different world. Looks like it might be more in depth too. It's hard to say. So we have planted our tomatoes. Now we go down to, wait, didn't I say we had 6 greenhouses? Apparently we only have 5, so I guess we're only going to get 1 of whatever peppers. Hey, door. Where? Oh, over here. Enter. Choose peppers. It looked like we had 6. I counted wrong. I'm going to have to go check unless I walked by one. And do this side. Lots of peppers. Yep, this is a new save game on this one here. The Apple Farm is actually a multiplayer game we were playing with Big Daddy. So I don't actually have the apples on my other game either. I wanted to try the greenhouses out and see if we can get greenhouses going. You literally have to go like 5 seasons, I think it is, to get your apple orchards. But if we can get through a season with just greenhouses and see what kind of money we make, that would be, I mean, doing fields is very, very low income. It's hard to get started in the beginning. I'm trying to find a way where I can get some animals and stuff going. Alright, so we have peppers. Now, let me count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess there is only 5 greenhouses. Wah! Alright, so we have all of our greenhouses planted. All on April 1st. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to just run a season just running the greenhouses so you guys can see this. And then we'll work maybe the fields and stuff later, but map, mechanics. First we're going to jump to April 30th, and you can see we already have some plants growing. And there are cucumbers. Current state of growth is bloom. Number of fruits not known yet. So there is a way to fertilize these. There's a fertilizer spreader down in the shop. I'll show you when I go down to the shop to get the harvesting equipment. But I could not figure out how to fill that darn thing, and I spent over an hour on it, so I'm going to skip the fertilizing stage right now. It's probably just a translation issue. Alright, so let me go back, and we got to go to wait to get to the next month. And what you want to do is you just want to make sure, I should have sped up the time. I usually speed it up so the night waiting part doesn't take too, but it's not too long. You're in the bloom stage. You could check some of the other ones. I'm pretty sure they all come due about, all the plant types come due about the same time. They're all in the bloom stage. Tomatoes. So we'll continue with moving forward to day 31 of this month. Once they hit, and this is crucial, once you get to the top of a month and you've hit the ripening stage like I have right now, it's now in ripening, you're going to want to go in slower increments through the month. There you see cucumbers hanging, pretty cool. Because they're going to end up being ripe and you don't want to miss the picking season. So we'll wait till the next beginning of the next day, next month. And they should still be in the ripening stage. They are. So now that they're ripening, I'm gonna 61 days. You could probably figure out exactly how many days it takes for cucumbers to become ripe, but I'm going to skip week at a time and make sure, give it a couple minutes to make sure that that it actually reset for that. So still ripening. We'll go to the 15th. And they're still ripening, and pretty soon we should end up with some cucumbers, I would think. We might have to get it in the next month. Ripening is quite the stage. Alright, here we are, ready for harvest. You can see a change. Current plant growth is ready for harvest. Cucumbers look pretty big. Not too bad. We'll check out the other plants. Hopefully our tomatoes are either still ripening or ready for harvest. They are still ripening right now. And our peppers down at the end here should be ripening or ready as well. So cucumbers did come first. They're ready. I have to go down to the vehicle shop and get some orchard or greenhouse harvesting equipment. So we'll take a ride to the farm shop, which is this way, I think. I'm going to try to do this without the map. I've only done it once before. It was all downhill. And to the left here on this little road, past the cows. So we're up to June 22nd, and our cucumbers are ready for harvesting. Only took a couple months of time. as you can see, the tractor is not bobbing around as much as it was yesterday. It's a lot easier to control your tractors. It does still a little bit even on the roads, but they're definitely much better physics today with the changes that they made. So improvements are getting there. Quite a bit different than yesterday. Okay, enter to open the machine shop. Interestingly enough, the greenhouse stuff is stored in the orchard category, and we only need 2 pieces of equipment right now. I will show you the sprayer. This little sprayer here, the Verta sprayer, it says to carry out the spraying you need electric wheelchair, which I know what that is, for greenhouse labors, and preparation purchased in shop. I don't know what they mean by. I mean, there's a vehicle shop. I don't know where you purchase the preparation. So I'm going to skip it for now. But this is our electric wheelchair platform. We need one of those. And we need a this right here, the wagon platform for greenhouse harvest, GH6 wagon, price 15,000. So we're going to buy that. And if you look, they're right over here. Now, I would not recommend I don't know if there's trailers yet. I'm not going to buy a trailer, but it is pretty rough on this equipment to drive it all the way up there. So what you can do is in your machinery tab here, we're going to send this home. And it disappeared, and then we're going to go back and send this home. I think it costs us money. Let's see, 364, 660. So yeah, cost 100 to send it back up to the farm, but worth it because I think we do more than 100 in damage trying to get it to the orchard. This little doohickey. It isn't really meant for rough riding, and I don't know how else to get it there yet. So there's our pickers on the trailer, and we're going to just drive it down to the greenhouses, which are just below. This is a lot easier and a lot closer to the greenhouses than that other place. You just got to go down around the cows. I do my work actually with the Giants steering wheel, the Cytec wheel from Giants. The one with the, but in this game the control pad does not work, but the steering wheel's working fine. I had a Logitech Driving Force GT, and it went out in a thunderstorm, so that's when I got this set up, and it's pretty good. I miss force feedback on other games, but for now, it works. It's getting me by. So here we are. Now this is tricky. This machine is a little bit iffy when it hits curbs and stuff, but you can get it up there. And it's not the easiest thing inside greenhouses. But let's go to our cucumber greenhouse over here first, because we knew they were ready. And the orchards actually work very similar, but you do this in rows of trees. The greenhouses are kind of tight, so yeah, getting the equipment just stop in the door is a trick sometimes. And it can bounce around. You will find out very soon. I want to start at this end over here, I think. So, come on, get in. Get inside. And get in between. Okay, back up a little bit. You gotta aim for the rows, people. Whoa, stop going backwards. And come on, you're stuck on something. There we go. So once you get started in a row. We're almost there. We're almost there. We're almost there. Aw, man, it kicked out. See the guys? He's reaching over to pick the cucumbers off the branches. You just want to give them time and you can watch the cucumbers disappear. Which I think is pretty cool. Once they stop picking, they'll stop and they'll stand there. You can actually watch the crates fill up a little bit as they're picking. If you can see that right there. That one guy's still doing some picking, but we can move forward a little bit. Now they're stopped. Oh, I don't know why it's going backwards when I'm hitting the gas. It's electric vehicle, I guess. So you just gotta inch your way down the rows, get everybody. Whoa, what did we hit? Stop that. Weird. It gets a little crooked. It's not the easiest thing to do, but man, you get a lot of cucumbers. We'll let these guys do their work. So you could imagine this is going to take some time. That's when this game can be a time sink, that's for sure. So, which I think is good. Longevity of a game. You don't want to finish everything in a day, or people will complain that they didn't get their money's worth. I think if he can get, I might have to back up. I'm past that one tree right there. Whoa. Go forward. Go forward. A little tricky, the controls on this thing. It doesn't like stop when I want it to, but what happens is when you see how that one emptied, it gets dropped behind you in the aisle. You can see there's a crate back there right behind us. And as we go through the whole greenhouse, we'll get a whole bunch of crates of cucumbers to sell off. Get on that side. Whoa. Touchy. There goes another one. I don't want to miss that one plant. I'm missing that one. Guys, pick that thing. There you go. You gotta keep an eye on your cucumbers. Make sure you get them all. You worked for it. The back guy should be grabbing some cucumbers there. There we go. Get in there. It is so weird. The gas and brake. The brake is reversed too. There we go. So you can imagine it's going to take a while to pick all our greenhouses. Now you can go and watch that farming sim video. And come back and still won't be done. But we also have to get a tractor with a wagon to move these things to, I think. I wonder, because the fruit sell place is right around the corner, if you can actually carry them over there. You might be able to. But once we turn the corner, keep on picking. I think that the greenhouses are going to be the way. If they sell for anything like the orchard fruits do, then this is going to be a lot of money. Because orchards, you do a whole orchard, you get about 9-10 crates. I think a greenhouse, just one greenhouse, is going to give you that many. I mean, we haven't finished a row. I think we've dropped, well, there goes another. I think we've dropped 4 of them, 3 or 4 already. But it's a little more difficult because you're working in such a small space. I don't know if it works with the G27, but it is working with my steering wheel. There, Chetty. It could. It does. I don't have a G27 to check it out. But if it didn't work, the developers right now are being very responsive to people on the forums. And they are working out a lot of the issues. So that's always a good sign. There's a wish list on the forums as well as a bug list. I don't know which one's bigger. I think the bug list is. But they have been responding regularly today to everybody's questions and comments, so they're looking at it. It's only going to get better if they stay with it. That's what's cool. And there's so much potential still. If they could iron out a lot of things and modders bring in some of the brands, because they just can't afford the brands. Smaller company. If we that's why I don't feel too bad, even if it's halfway decent, buying a copy to support them, give them the funds to maybe pick up a couple of the bigger brand names next year, or in a DLC pack down the road. Who knows? They do release DLCs for this in the past. They have anyway. Last year they released an equipment DLC as well as the orchards as a DLC, which are now in the game. So they kind of work off of a business model like Giants. Give them the product in a DLC and make it part of the base game the next year. That's pretty cool. So we have to, whoa, get down this row over here. This is not the easiest thing to drive around, let me tell you. It's so touchy. But if I can get it into that row, back here, come on, you can do it. We can do this set of cucumbers. You gotta be careful. Oh, come on. It rolls. This electric thing says it's out of control. Get in there. There we go. Whoa, whip it around. They need to do something a little to make this part a little bit easier. I admit but if it would just, I think if the greenhouses had more room at the end to turn around, it would have been better. Or if the equipment here was only a 4 instead of a 6, so it was shorter, it'd be easier to move around. 6-person thing inside the greenhouse can be pretty tight. But you can do it. It's doable. Yep, 45 reviews, overall mixed. You're gonna get that. And thank you, whoever that was. Somebody hosting me, I think. I don't have it up correctly, so. But hey. There it is. It's ZachoNext1. Thank you for the host. There are some people, a lot of people out there that probably tried the game for 5 seconds, and if it's not Farming Simulator, it's no good, and that's you can't compare it. Meesman1982, thank you for the host. I can see it in the chat now, but my little pop-up is hidden behind my window because I threw this over the top of the farm. My order is out of whack. I didn't set up a new setup, so I'm hiding the little pop-ups. And I kind of knew that that was a host sound. And that there is the follow sound. Thank you very much, Meesman1982, for the follow. And I wonder if I can move that around while we're picking. Well, we'll wait. We'll wait. Keep picking those cukes. Whoa. I hate it when it's so touchy. And this brake is reverse as well, so it's coasting. I try to stop it from rolling away, and then wham, it goes into reverse mode. This is Expert Farmer 2017, released yesterday, and it's definitely got some interesting features in it, that is for sure. It definitely has some bugs in it, but they're working on it. And these days, if you buy a game, you can't expect everything to work. Unfortunately, I do remember the days when games weren't released with any bugs in them, or you'd get your money back right away, or whenever. But those days are long gone. It seems like games are released unpolished these days all the time. So to call it, they should release it as a beta or early access because it does need some work. But I'm actually enjoying what I'm seeing so far, other than the bouncy trailer stuff, which goes. I'm gonna miss a cucumber. Pick that cucumber back there. Get it. Thank you. Don't leave any behind. There we go. He's still picking them. There we go. Let's move forward. So I'm going to jump off while these guys are picking real quick and check out what we have on the ground over here. So you can lift the things up and bring them outside and drop them on the ground. And this is why this would be cool if multiplayer was working. You could have several people doing different jobs. One guy just moving the crates, the other guy hauling them away to sell them. But currently, multiplayer has its issues. Want to see how many we got in just the first row. Quite a few. Don't know how well they're going to pay, but you can see we've got our crates. There's 4. Looks like we got 8 almost on the first row of cucumbers. This is going to be a huge harvest. Probably some pretty good cash. If it pays more than the or even the same as the orchards, it's going to be pretty good cash. Hey Memelar, how's it going? So there's definitely a ton of... Here, let me go back over here. Get these pickers working again. So as you can see, might not be the best thing to watch streaming because there's so much time in each task. But for playing, it's kind of cool. 2cat5954, how's it going? Whoa. Keep it in between the rows. So yeah, the physics jump around with the trailers hitting things. It would do that in Giants Editor if they had greenhouses. When you bump into things like this tight, it's hard to drive through. I'm surprised though, yeah, a 6-person wagon in here is pretty tight. But we're getting lots of cucumbers. And the hardest part is turning at the end of the rows. That's for sure. You got to get all the way... yeah. Come on. It's hitting... Oh boy. We got to get down. The rows are so close together. So yeah, if you don't have patience, don't buy the game. Because it takes some patience to get these things going. I don't know any other way to get over there. Come on. It's like... Listen to the motor on that thing hum. There might be an easier pattern to get it in, but there we go. Oh, I thought I had it and it threw me back for some reason. If you hit one of those rails just right, okay, you can leave the building. Come on. So this, yeah, can get frustrating. Let's turn it around out here. Getting in those rows just right. On such touchy gas and brake on these things. Get down in that row now. Thank you. It's the DadgeNet party this. I think overall the graphics aren't too bad. There are definitely some flashing. The graphics are a different style, but there's a whoa. I think it's the physics on some of the things here, like this trailer, and the some of the setups like this make it really difficult to do the task. You know, getting down this little aisle with this 6-person picker wagon, which I don't know why they just didn't do a 4 or even a 2. I don't think you can pick them by hand yourself. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure you can't. But next time I get off, I'll see what it says. You got to take down, I believe, the plants after you're done, so you can replant for the next season. We'll see what happens if I leave them up in one greenhouse. Oh, come on, you missed some cukes back here, dude. Get in. Thank you. Pick 'em. I guess he doesn't want to. Right there. Thank you. There we go. Don't want to leave any on the vine. It's a waste of money. Yeah, I would say so. I think everything needs a little work and fine-tuning. I would have cut this down to just 2 buckets and maybe 4 people rather than 3 buckets and 6, just so it's a little more mobile inside the greenhouse. The engine on this thing, it kind of coasts out of control sometimes. Needs to be able to stop a little bit easier, I think. So, but it's doable. And I'll tell you, this is going to be, I think that, oddly enough, I think the developers programmed it so these are worth so much more because it's a hassle to do them. It's a quick way to get, well, not necessarily quick, but I think they're pretty big money for doing the greenhouses, so it might be worth the effort, but it shouldn't be worth the effort working around the bugs, you know? Yep, a lot of good, a lot of bad. I like the hands-on and the fact that you're working the greenhouses and the orchards and those things. The terrain is pretty cool the way it works now. I'm giving them some time. They are working on it and they're taking people's suggestions and seeing what they can do. So that's a big positive. If you're looking for a perfectly polished game, then wait a little while. I think it'll only get better from here. But I am one of those people, I like to try things right when they come out, give my feedback on them, so they can, while they're taking feedback, it's always good to be in the giving them yours, you know, if you want your changes to take effect. Go out to the movies. I'll be here for a little while. This is greenhouse number 1. We've got quite a few to pick. And the way it's going, it could be an hour to get this one finished. What do we got? One or two more passes to do? There, look at them guys go. That's money. That's green. You know, you eat too much of that KFC, it's gonna kill you. Especially the extra crispy. Alright, get around this crate and see if we can dive. There's more room to turn around on this side. That was nice and smooth. Shouldn't say that until I'm sure I'm going down the aisle. But yeah, that one was pretty easy. There's definitely more room at this end to turn. You can't hire workers to do this step. Well, that's one of the things when we get through season 1 after we pick all these. We'll show some hired worker tasks and see what we can get them to do. Keep going. Keep rolling. If anybody has any questions about the game, just throw them up there. I'm still learning it, but I've learned quite a bit in the past couple days. And I did play 2016 a little bit too. So yeah, the orchards pretty much work this same way, but you're driving between the rows of trees with a different wagon and picking the orchards. And I'll tell you, the greenhouses are producing a lot more crates than an orchard does. So that's a plus. I don't know if they're going to sell for the same. I think last year I was getting about 5,000 a trailer load of crates from an orchard. So we'll get the trailer up here in a little bit. I think I'm going to have to buy a tractor to pull it too. Load one up and hopefully be able to cart them off to... Man. Finish picking. Okay, thank you. We've got crates to pick up out there somewhere. 1, 2, 3. There's quite a few in the aisles that I've gone down. Look at them all. Holy mackerel. Money. I think orchards are going to be the way to go if you can live through it to get money in the start of a game. Because if those crates are worth anything like orchards... All games Ned up daddies? What is that supposed to... Let's see if I can figure this out. No. Translate that for me, Tucat. It's the same game as last night, Colonel Sanders. You were here. Farm Expert 2017. Says it right in the title. It's only listed under Farming Simulator 15 because they don't have a category for it yet and it may never on Twitch. Eat, eat up? I don't know. Yeah, that would be funny. I do know if you disconnect the trailer, you'll get 6 different workers, all dressed differently, so we can like send them home and get some new ones. There is lots of cucumbers in here. Whoa, stop that. And this is not fertilized either. I don't know how the heck the fertilizer spreader works. All games need updates. Yeah, they do. These days they definitely do. Alright, this is the toughest corner to do because the darn shelf for buying the plant seedlings is right in front of us. So once they're finished picking that last plant, that guy's almost done. Get done. Thank you. We'll try. Whoa. We'll try to get this last turn and get that last row over there. Not gonna happen, is it? Oh, can I go down the side? Probably not. I wonder if you could put a weight on the front of this thing. Definitely can't move around very easily in these tight areas with the equipment that they expect you to pick the greenhouses with. I guess you could go to the other end and come down from that end. Find a aisle that you can get to a little bit easier. Might have been the smarter choice, but I've never taken the smarter choice in my entire life. I take the difficult choice. Oh, there we go. There we go. Come on, get in there. Whoa, it was so close. I think we're in. Now you'll notice that our pickers on the other side don't have anything to pick because it's the odd row, which is kind of cool. They'll just sit there. So it's pretty interesting. A little bit more like farming though in this game. I mean, if you have everything running in here, it'll take you a season to accomplish all your tasks. Days of work. As you can see, just the one greenhouse is going to take us a couple hours probably to get everything done. Amaki, hey, how's it going? Keep on picking. So we're almost actually done with the first greenhouse, which is kind of cool. Once I'm done with number 1, I'm going to go buy the trailer for hauling these out of here and show you guys how that's done. And we might jump over to the other game and do some different things, which is on season 2. Oh, I don't have money over there though. I have a little bit, but I don't know if I have enough to hire any workers. Probably a couple. But I did want to show you guys how hired workers works out tonight too. And I've got fields waiting for them. So you can't hire workers in season 1. You just got to get to April of the second year, and then you can hire workers. I imagine, let's see, we started in April, May, June. I think you could actually literally plant a cucumber greenhouse. You should be able to plant them because it's indoors right after you harvest them in the same year. It only took 2 months to grow, so we do have till October before it rolls around back to April. I bet you could get 2 plantings out of a greenhouse. Lots more cucumbers. Well, I'm skipping because you're picking down both sides. Actually, I'm not skipping any lines. It's just that when you can skip a row that you want to get in between 2 rows that are ready to be picked, and the last row is kind of odd. So they're picking from both sides. You could go down every single row, but it's not necessary because you're picking both sides every time. So you get to skip one lane. Yeah, I love the fact that you get to pick them up in here too. That's just some hands-on work once they offload the. But it's tough to drive this equipment inside here, that's for sure. Almost done with this row. Almost done with this greenhouse. Pick that last plant there. Once they're done moving around, you know you've got everything. This is the first. Yep, I tell you, that's the thing. Nothing gets done in this game fast. You put in the work to earn your money. That's for sure. So definitely maybe not as fun to stream as farms. Oh, let's pick an aisle without crates because it could get boring watching do the same thing for hours. But if this is just one greenhouse and I've got 5 more or 4 more, yeah. That's why I'll probably save after a little bit and then jump into the other save game and show you guys some hired workers and see what else we can do. We might have to come back here to do. I'd like to get into animals, but there's no way to cheat this game yet. I haven't found the save game files to pump money in or anything. Come on. What are we stuck on? Guys, I'm literally trying to go forward and ended up going backwards. It's like it's stuck in reverse. Come on. Get down there. Sorry about tipping you guys over. There we go. So one greenhouse, let's get out of there. We've only got to do it 4 more times. Let's go down here to the next cucumber warehouse, and then I'm going to jump out and empty that one, and we'll go get some equipment so you can see the whole process. I'm going to try to start on the hard side this time though. So you guys get picking right there. I'm gonna go to the other greenhouse and unload my crates. To the parking lot. see, we didn't finish this aisle yet. So just so you know, I'll explain this in just a minute. There we go. If I'm driving down this aisle, I'm picking this side and this side. So there's no sense of driving down this aisle because that side's already been picked. So you skip that one and you do this, then you pick this side and this side, and then you can skip that one because that side's been picked. So you're basically going down every other one to get them all picked. And there are a lot of cucumbers in this house. I can't wait to see what kind of price they sell for. Like I said, if they're anything like the orchards, about 5,000 a truckload, then this is definitely going to pay off well, much better than the orchards. Drop them outside. Because an orchard in the last version would get me, a good size orchard would be about 11, 12 bushels for cherries or apples. I never got the plum orchards done in the last version, but I had a ton of cherry and apple orchards. Get in the door. And we definitely have some bushels out here. Let's see what we're getting for... I can't find the door half the time. Alright. I think we have at least a full load there. Let me jump down to the tractor and enter the vehicle shop. Go to the orchards. What we need is an orchard tractor, which is, well, heck, let's get the good one. I never drove that before. How much is that going to cost me? $39 compared to 31. Yeah, we'll get the yellow one this time. Buy that. It's not that much different. And trailer for the fruit crates. That's what we need. I think. We'll find out. Where'd the tractor go? Didn't we buy the tractor? Apparently not. There it is. So you do need special orchard tractors to pull the orchard equipment. You can't use the other tractors. It's one of these two. Oh, Q. Whoops, wrong button. So we'll bring this up to... Oh, I don't know even where I'm going. I should have just... Let me do that. Let me bring it up to the top. Go home. No. Oh, crap. I sent the wrong thing home. I sent my picker wagon home. That's never good. Our poor pickers can't pick. Well, we'll go get some. There's a crate dropped right behind it, too. It does that when you disconnect the wagon from whatever. It will unload the remaining crate. All in one crate, whatever is picked on the thing. So you just take these, you walk up to the side, and E to place it on the trailer. Let's go get the rest of them. Down the hill over there. Ah, the edges on this thing. This tractor's still a little wobbly. They need to work on that a little. There's the trailer. You see that trailer bouncing around? Which is odd because none of that happened in the 16 version, so it has to have something to do, I would think, with their new physics or the ground physics or whatever they're doing. It's a little bit bouncy, all the equipment. So we just gotta pull up over here. There is no auto load. It's all manual load. Here, let me get up here. And when I mean manual, get ready for manual labor. And you just walk up to the edge of the trailer. It'll pop up the E to place it on the trailer. Pretty easy. And I think we can haul 12 of them. 3 high. The game is definitely plays a lot better in single player. And actually, interestingly enough, like I said earlier, Big Daddy and I actually got multiplayer working for a little while on the proper way, not using Tungle to connect like we were on faking the local area network, but actually, and it does some different synchronization things. It works a little better if they actually get it working. It's so tough to get connected that two of us, I could see his game for some reason, nobody else could, but it did work a little better, but it still needs a lot of work. I don't know where I'm bringing these. I think that, is this a sell point? I thought it was pretty close by. Maybe not. Let's find out where we sell vegetables. Orchard Steading. That's our building. Let's see. Purchase of vegetables and fruits here. And there. That one I think is closer. We'll just go down the hill and take a left. So this way down the hill. Yeah, multiplayer is tricky. I wouldn't buy it for multiplayer right now, but I'll keep checking it out and we'll see. I mean, I can live with some of the things like this bumpy tractor stuff, but when the synchronization is really bad in the multiplayer, it makes it very hard to do the fields. Very hard because it was better than yesterday, but I plowed the field, got it to 100%, and he had something like 86% said it was done, so it didn't synchronize that 12% on that one field that we did, which is just not acceptable. You can't see what the other person did. So definitely some synchronization issues, but they don't use a synchronizing please wait bar. You just pop in and you're there, which is kind of cool. And I still think that Big Daddy and I are the only two that figured out how to get it to work, because I have not seen another game in the list when you search for games online. Yep, definitely have some spin tires action going on. So press enter. Sell. Holy crap. Really? 16,000? Yep, that's worth it right there. That's more than I made with just that one load from that one greenhouse, it is what I made on 3 fields of wheat with actually good yield off of them, fertilized, herbicide, and all that stuff. So greenhouse is the way to go. Yep, very much better. I mean, I had to buy the fertilizer, the herbicide, the insecticide, and the fungicide, I guess it is, on a field, plus all that equipment. And here all I got is a couple little tractors, and I haven't even finished the first greenhouse, and I can't even remember where the greenhouses are. I think I took a wrong turn. Oh man, am I way off? Oh well, not really. We gotta go up the hill over here. So we just wrap around. There we go. It's just a little bit further out of the way, but yeah, that's a great return. Because all we had to do is buy the seedlings. I won't even mess with the fertilizer stage if I figure it out. Well, unless it doubled the yield. This is Farm Expert 2017. It has its issues, but it all depends what you consider to be... Oh, I can't get up that way. If you can live with some of the issues, then it can be quite fun, but I'm sure that it will be ditched for Farm Sim 17 when it comes, but at least it gives me something to mess around with for a little while. And I'll check out the map modding when they get more tutorials. It might mess with it a little bit. But I just rolled my truck over. Aw, man. Come on. Come on. Heh. Those are the types of issues it has. Vehicle physics needs some work. I mean, what did I roll that over on? A little bump in the road? One thing about this game too is, if you notice, vehicles when they're not attached to anything are like bricks. I don't think I could turn that over. It's not like, I mean, I can move it, but I'm going to have to reset that back to the farm, which is right here, and pick it up there. There's just too much messing with it. Going up top. Hey, I've seen Viper do that 1,000 times in Farm Sim, so that's nothing unusual for a farming game. That's typical for all farming games, getting things flipped over on you. I think the landscape here is conducive to flipping things over. I mean, look at the edges and everything that you got to drive around. It's crazy. Let me get back down there with my trailer. Now we got like 16,000, and that was with the partial trailer or the partial basket that was up here. So we'd even get a little bit more for all full ones. He knows I'd be busted on him. He'll watch it back. I like busting on Viper. I could have said Trout, but I don't think he's here either. Everybody knows that those two are two of the best drivers in the game. And me. I'm not that great either. He knows we love him here. I talked to him earlier today. So we have a few more bushels, and I think I didn't even finish emptying that greenhouse out. Come on, let me out of the tractor. Where, oh where? So, yeah, you could literally, now that I have the trailer, just load it and not drop everything on the ground. Save a step. It's too bad I wish multiplayer worked, because this would be a good game. One guy loads trailers, the other guy drives them off. You know, there's a lot of manual work that has to be done in here. So extra people would be a big help. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean there. Give it some time there, Space Wolf. I think that they're going to work out the little things, because they had issues, similar issues in the last version, and it only took them a couple weeks to get most of the annoying bugs out to make it a very playable game. And they keep expanding some pretty cool things like the greenhouses. I'm wondering if I can't do it until maybe tomorrow. I'll let you guys know, but if I could get another planting out of these, because they're still growing. Do you have to replant them? Because you can take them off the thing and then put new ones on. But I don't know, it's in the greenhouse setting, if I just let them keep growing, if I'll get more cucumbers or what would happen. Have no idea. But we'll finish up one greenhouse and then we'll jump on and do some other things. There are so many crates in here. That is so awesome. So you're going to make probably close to 50 grand per greenhouse. And that is going to be the money way. But, yeah, because you're going to have at least 2 trailer loads plus. That'll be 32. Plus all that extra. I think it's probably going to be close to 50 grand. Because look at all those that are still left down there. Maybe even 3 full trailers. Let's do a double check though. Make sure we get our 16 grand out of this one. Let me put the marker on the map. Which I don't know if you guys are aware of, but they did include... Is that the way I'm going? Yeah. They did include this marker on the map thing in Giants FS17. You can mark a waypoint. Makes it easy to find out where you're going, which is going to be coming real handy. Even though it's over there, I know I got to go down the hill. Watch out for the street lights. Graphically, I think the graphics look okay. I think that they messed up something, like the fencing, the way it looks with the gaps, and there's some floating stuff. But it's a different graphic style. Oh God, no, don't do it. Don't do it. Oh man. Tell me, say it ain't so. I'm dancing with my tractor. I think I get the tractor up because it's moving around pretty good for being on 2 wheels. I might have to reset. It's trying like crazy to get back up. Oh, 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 look it, look it. We've got... This is gonna be fun. Can I connect now? I did get the hitch. Come on. I'm connected. I did it. Wow, check that out. What a save. Alright, where am I going? This way. Don't laugh, Hunter. It wasn't funny. No. Yeah, it does have its little issues to get used to. But hey, I roll over vehicles in Farming Sim too, so I gotta remember I got quite a stack of cucumbers here. It's kinda heavy. But look at the bouncing. That's what they gotta work on. I'm on a road. I shouldn't be bouncing around so much. Need to work that out. Oh, that's another cool thing I love. Look at see my improved ability as a driver, even though it doesn't show. I love the fact that you level up things as you go. Let's see. See, this is a full load. So 17,422. Definitely we've already brought in 30 some odd thousand from that one greenhouse with at least another partial load to go, if not almost a full load, which is pretty darn cool. So worth the time and all that struggling up and down the aisles. Now that is cucumbers, and I guarantee you that tomatoes and peppers will be different. They're a little bit different. One thing I have to note too is I think your equipment in here is it's taking damage too fast, really fast. I mean, I bought this trailer how long ago? And just look at it right now. I mean, I understand you want to have the realism and stuff, but that trailer looks like it's been around for 50 years, and I just bought it new at the store a few hours. Well, not that long ago at all. It took some beating. And the tractor looks like it's been around a little while. And that's the worn texture. It's not the dirt texture. And if I bring it to the shop, it's going to cost money. It is cool, though, that they have the worn textures, though. That is, I'm pretty sure, is damage, but I don't think... Basically, I don't think the damage texture is in line with actual how much damage is on the vehicle. I think it looks a lot worse than it actually is. If we bring that trailer to the garage, it'll probably, if I could find out where I'm going, all the way to there. Oh wait, I missed my turn? This is my turn right here. Oh, okay. Yeah, if I bring it to the garage, it'll probably only cost like $15 to fix, but it looks like it would take a heck of a lot more. It's just one of those things I don't think, as the worn text, I think the worn texture shows through a little bit too fast. I don't know if they can fix that. It's just sort of like the dirt. The vehicles getting dirty. They get dirty so fast in Farm Sim 2. They might be able to tweak it. That has already been listed as a bug report, that the vehicle damage goes up too fast, so we'll see what they do. It still runs, and it still works. I've never had anything completely break down, but I will say that the physics on the vehicles, I mean the repairs on the, you drive it in the water, you cannot start it until you get it dried out, and then bring it to the shop. It'll only run at a pretty slow rate until you go back and do the maintenance on it in your garage. You got to fix the electrical, fix this, that, and the other thing, and then eventually you can get it running good again. But definitely a lot of work to do, because this is all the greenhouses that are on the map, I believe. A modder could put like 40 of them in probably, but there's just the 5 in this one spot. And I'm not sure if there's the same number on each map, but I could see why they put a limit on it, because it's definitely probably the best profits out of anything. I wish and what I will do is I'll save the game in a little bit, and we'll do some quick experimenting. Once I get this thing load, I want to see if I got another full load. A lot of running around. And I am running, this is walking. So we'll go back to running. What I'll do is I will save the game. We'll go up to the car wash and see what comes off of that thing. I'll buy the car wash. Actually, I don't think I want to waste money on the car wash right now. Maybe it's alright. I'll have to see. I mean, now that I know I can make 50, 60,000 per greenhouse with cucumbers, I'm not so concerned about spending a few dollars for the car wash. And we'll bring the vehicle up and see how close we can get it to... Where is that darn... Down there. We'll see if we can get it close to restored by purchasing the car wash up above. But first, we'll finish dropping off all these goodies, which is literally, I think, exactly one more full trailer load. 2 more down there, and we have room for them. Bonjour. That's about all I can say in French. Now, if Andre was here, he could translate for me. But I sorry me no speak French. I did say the drive... Oh, is that what he said? The driving is not easy? Gotcha. That is for sure. Alright, so we got exactly another full load. Another 17 grand worth of stuff. So it's 3 times 17 almost. About $52,000 per greenhouse. It's a couple hundred per season out of this thing. That'll get the farm going. Now if I could just find my way out a little bit easier. There we go. I'll try not to roll it over this time. I said try. Doesn't mean I'm going to succeed. 2 translators. That's awesome. Well, they can double check each other. One said it is not easy, and the other one said it ain't easy. Well, which one was it? Is not or ain't? I'm American. I can't speak any of them. Only the swear words. And, well, 16, so I guess it varies a little bit, but here we go, another 16,700. Pretty good. Whoa. Let me do the quick thing here, because I don't want to bore you guys to death for much longer. I'm going to send my trailer home in my tractor home, and I'm still in the tractor. It's pretty cool. You can send yourself home. That only costs 200. Let's jump out of my tractor. I'm gonna do a save game before I go crazy, because let's see. We'll do some purchasing and take a look at some of these things. We've got a few dollars. Car shed there. Workshop. We got to bring it into the workshop. Where is the car wash? What do we have here? Weather station. Alright, so let's see what the weather station does. That's where it's going to appear, I'm guessing. Oh, I think we got to be... Buildings. Weather station, where are you? Did I miss it? Right here. It's only 10,000 euro. There's our weather station. That's it. Doesn't look like much of a weather station, but apparently it is. So what that's supposed to do is give us weather facts in tomorrow's sunny, today's sunny, day after tomorrow's sunny. Okay, so that's what the weather's did. Now we have at least we know what the weather's going to be. Let's purchase these things up and see what what they look like. This one was the vehicle shop. We already own that. Okay. Car shed. So that's what that thing looks like right now. Buildings. Let's see how much it is. There's a car wash. Oh, car shed. Okay, 20,000 euros. Did you guys see anything? Oh, I think it opened up this whole thing right here. This wasn't here before. Now we've got lots more parking. And it said that there were 2 upgrades on that, I think. No, car shed. Nope, that's done. Let's build the car wash. I don't know where it is, but we'll find it. And the petrol station. Alright, so something is over here. It almost looks like a... What is this? That's the storage of potatoes. Okie dokie. Oh, I see what I think is the car wash and the petrol station right back here. So you can get your fuel right there, and when you buy it, it comes pre-filled. And here is the car wash. So let's bring that sucker in the car wash and see what happens. Let's do the trailer too, just for the heck of it. Go into the car wash. I still got 274,000. I might even keep this stuff. I got so much money coming in from those greenhouses. Alright. Enter to open car wash. Enter to open. Wash your machine. Oh, check that out. The trailer looks like new, so I guess that was mostly dirt, but it looked worn. I don't know if we got the tractor. Let's do that. Alright, that's looking pretty spiffy. Looking pretty new. Take a closer look. Yeah, it was mostly dirt. Look at how nice and shiny my truck. There's a little wear on it. I don't even think you guys can see it, but the trailer looking pretty good. not bad at all compared to that other one over there, which I have to bring that one back down to pick. Now this is interesting because if I hook this up, I get 6 guys on it, and in order to wash it, I think I have to wash the dudes. Ha. Sorry, dudes, you're going into the car wash. You're filthy. There, I gave him a shower. Unfortunately, you don't get any effects from the car wash, but at least it cleans your vehicles. And then it's back down to the greenhouse. Whoa, look at them go. They did need a bath. I cleaned them up. I want to check out a few other things too while we're here. Well, we got 274,000. I don't even know why I'm driving down there because I wasn't going to save this until I know what I'm doing with my money. But let me go to this vehicle here. And I wanted to check out a couple of pieces of equipment here. Orchard equipment. You have different sprayers. Let's see, what do we have money for? I want to check out something totally different here. This is an orchard harvester. That's an orchard harvester. Let's check this thing out, see what it looks like. Why not? Well, we got some money. I've never used one of these. That looks painful. But definitely cool. So I guess you go over the top of some type of, maybe the raspberries or something. Nice. That's what I'm saying, though, about this. Oh, look, it's got the baskets on the back for picking as well, so the crates probably drop off. Actually, probably driving smoother than any of the other vehicles, and look at the speed on it. This thing handles better than any tractor in the game. I might just use these to drive around. Look at the speed I got on it. Well, a little bit on the bump, but it's stable. If everything drove like this... Do they fall off if you roll it? No, they're just like the other ones. They would if they fill up, they drop automatically, but they're kind of like a part of the machine until then. But that's a pretty cool one. Let's see the blades running just for the heck of it. Oh yeah, we've got some action. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me zoom in if I can. Pretty sweet. Yeah, I can't wait to see that in action. I don't know what it's used for, but it's probably some of the bushes or something. So you don't have one of these in Farming Simulator. That's what I'm saying about this. There's some cool stuff that the other game just doesn't have. It makes it interesting. It isn't Farming Simulator, but it does offer things that game doesn't that are pretty darn cool. So let's check out. Well, I still have $185,000. Let me get off of this thing. And I could sell that back. But let's see what else we have in there. Let's try that other one out. There was another orchard, if we can afford it. The Freuta, 79,600. That goes over the top of some type of bushes too. Platform's probably going to be a lot more stuff on this one. I don't know, just 2 buckets. Doesn't look as well. It looks cool, but it's definitely an interesting machine. With the animations on that, should be pretty cool if they work. When I get orchards up and running, we'll get a couple of these guys and see what it looks like if we ever get that far. It's good that the clipping didn't work too bad. It looks like a grape picker. Do we have grapes? I don't know if we did grapes, but it does look like a grape picker. Cherry trees are too big. There's raspberries. Let me see what's in the menu for fruits. For seedlings, we have... Well, there's peas, but I think that now. You have cherry, plum, apple, currant seedlings, gooseberry, and raspberry. So currants, gooseberry, and raspberry, and the other... I don't know which... Raspberries are on bushes. I'm guessing the currants and the gooseberry are probably bushes as well, so that might go over the top of those. So that's the Freude. Now, can you sell from here? I don't know if we can sell stuff. I don't know how to sell stuff yet. But let's take a look at the orchard equipment again, because that's the kind of weird stuff. There's orchard mowers. These are the platform trucks. Sort of like the one that we're using up above, but they're for picking on the trees. A lower and an upper, and then a 6-person outside on the tree. And then there's the orchard sprinklers and a trailer for fruit. But I don't know if that one holds. Let's see the size of that thing. I don't know if it holds more or less. I don't have the tractor down here to haul it, but we might be able to get an idea what that trailer looks like. Does it look any bigger? No, I think that's smaller. But it's side by side. It might hold the same amount. I don't know. Little trailer. Anything else in there that we can buy right now? Let's see. Oh, wrong menu. We got $90,000. That's all just regular sprayers. This sprayer I've used on the orchard before. It's pretty cool the way it sprays. The mowers are pretty interesting. I'm sure in this version will bounce all over the place. Let's take a look at the little, where is it? The D300 mower. It's only 15,000. Oh, can't buy it because there's something in the box. That's one of the downfalls of this too. Is unless I can move that one out of the box, and it probably won't move, I can't buy anything, and that I'd have to bring my orchard tractor down here unless I can knock this out of here, which they're like bricks, will not move. And if everything's the same as last year, whoops, get off that, then it won't hook up to this tractor because it's not an orchard tractor, but I'll give it a try. Just for the heck of it. Yeah, see, you don't get a hitch. Different hitch type for the orchard equipment. No hitch. Now, let me check while we're here. Is there trailers? I think. Oh, we got the. I wonder how much that is. We can purchase that. Yeah, let's get one of those. See how bad that model is in this game. Because that's a different type of equipment, it spawns on a different box. Alright, so how do I raise and lower? Well, there's the bucket. Yeah, the arm, a little bit sensitive. Whee! You can move it fast, and in and out would be, well, that's up and down. And that's the bucket. I don't know what sends both of them. Nope. Have no idea how to. Left mouse button plus mouse is jack steering, whatever that means. I'm doing it, nothing's happening other than up and down. And right mouse button, backhoe manipulation. Okay, so apparently you can't telescope the loader. I have no idea. But it has one. It's actually, again, easier to get around in than a tractor. Well, it's a little bumpy. Alright, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to jump on the other game. I'm not going to save this stuff because we can try out a couple more pieces of equipment after that. Because I still have money. I didn't save it, I think. And we'll jump back in to my first game. Oh my gosh, I'm falling asleep already. Sorry about that. Continue the free ride. Where I don't have any cash. Oh, we never did well, the vehicles look pretty clean, so I guess we really didn't need to use the garage on the last one. So here I am. I will say that this is a forage wagon, but it only does grass for some stupid reason. That thing needs a car wash, my tractor. I only have 788 bucks, so if I can do this, it'll be a miracle. I might be able to sell a piece of equipment, but my fields need to be plowed, cultivated. Let's see what the hired workers can do. It's on season 2, day 1. So you would bring up and you go to employees tab. Depute the plowing, depute the loosening. Sow wheat, sow maize. You can have them sow stuff, and you can commission aerial spraying of herbicides, insecticides, fungicides. They can gather your fruit, collect the crops, the player to transport it to the silo only, and convert the field to an orchard, and convert the orchard back to a field. Alright, so I'm going to hire, if I can afford it, we'll see how much this costs, somebody to plow this field right there. I think it was already, did I select it? And you will see a hired worker shows up with his own equipment. Makes it a lot easier. And what did that cost me? It barely cost me anything, to be honest with you. We had 788. Cost me less than 100 to have the plow guy come and do the plowing for me. Pretty sweet. So that's how hired workers, they bring their own equipment. Literally, if I go back to, you got to do all the purchasing from the farm for hired workers. But if we come over here and we bring up the map again, we can select that field, and we'll get a guy started plowing that field as well because it's so cheap. And now we have 2 guys plowing our fields. And look at the rut he left, although he's still working on it. So we'll give him some time. So hired workers really are inexpensive. They do the work. And if we can get these guys... Oh, one of the other things I wanted to mention to you about hired workers. We're on April 1st, so check this out. If we come back here and we go to our map and go to mechanics and jump just to April 2nd, ta-da! We are completely plowed. And if we show F2, you'll see it's plowed 100%. So just jumping ahead the day, the work got completed and it's ready for cultivating. So that's what's one cool thing. You can get work done quick just by advancing the day. You don't actually have to wait for those guys. So if we did the same thing, let's see if we can afford debut the loosening of that field right. Let me zoom in a little so I can hit it. This field. And he will come along and cultivate. And he's doing it. His animation's a little whacked there for a minute, but he is cultivating the field. And they do give you 100% on the every time. Thank you, Bronco 2, for the $25.
Hard work, thanks.
Thank you so much. I really, really, really appreciate it. And well, that's one thing I got to do. Get back to. I'm gonna update that museum in Farming Simulator 17 map for you guys for all those donations that I received. But thank you so much. It helps me out greatly. You don't have any idea. But I really do appreciate it. So here we have a hired worker cultivating, and we can do the same thing. But let me get the other guy. I do have a little bit of money left. I'm going to do the same thing on the other field. And hopefully I can get the last step done. Alright, so now we got that guy cultivating, this guy cultivating, and like I said, you don't want to wait for them to finish. You can advance to April 3rd. And your cultivating will be done. Voila. We are now plowed and cultivated. 2 fields. Anyway, I do have another field around here somewhere that I own. But I wanted to show you this part while I still have money. I want to bring by... Where is it? Spray a fungicide, insecticides, herbicides, aerial spraying fertilizer. We'll do this field right... Whoops. Let's select that. I hope I can afford it. 183 euros. Yeah, we got that. Just barely. Aerial spraying. If you keep an eye out in the sky somewhere, I don't know where it's going to come from. But this field... Hello, Mr. Plane. Oh, there he is. He goes over. Check out that. Drops the fertilizer on the field. And he just flew off. And this field is now 100% fertilized. So yeah, until you get past first season and get some money. Once you get a little bit of money. I only have 53 bucks left. But this is ready for planting. Without the herbicide, fungicide, and insecticides on it. But the field is ready. 100% to go. And I can't afford to have this field crop dusted. I only have 53 bucks left. So I will have to grab my sprayer right there with my tractor right... Where is my tractor? Right over here. And get out of the camera view where I can see. Whoops, I didn't want to pick it up. I wanted to... What the heck? Why? What is it doing? There we go. I have no idea. Bad plowing, yeah. They left a rut there. But hey, they were only $183. Can't beat it. To do the fertilizing and stuff. So I did purchase this fertilizer sprayer right here to do my fields, if I could back up to it. These do have backup cams, so you could see, you can line yourself up with the hitch pretty easily. There it is, Q. Pretty cool looking at the backup cam. Not bad at all. If you're an in-cab view person, that's a pretty cool feature. I usually am not, so I don't use it often. Now I don't know why it says connect to Xena. What the heck is a Xena Tissy? Do I have anything in this? No, we need to fill the sprayer. Let's go. I love the physics when you're you're stuck, it spits up stuff, and it's pretty cool. You guys haven't seen the bad weather on my stream yet either. When it starts raining, it gets nasty. So we come over here, we'll fill the sprayer up. Oh, I don't want to refuel those. I wanted fertilizer. Oh, this is the sprayer. Well, we'll do some herbicides. That's right. I got the other sprayer for the other stuff. So we got. I don't have a lot of this stuff bought. I hope I bought enough to finish those fields up. But this sprayer does all three. You just have to empty it to do each step individually. It'll do your herbicide, your fungicide, and your insecticide. All three of them, one at a time. So it is definitely a lot of work, but it's also purchasable to have flyovers, which is once you get the money up and running. You don't make a lot on these fields, so that's another issue. Not a lot of cash coming in from doing these steps. Let's see, T to begin spraying, and I know I'm off whack, but this is a little weird. One of the cool things is that even though I'm in that rut, that could be a problem. Even though you're spraying one of 3 products on the field plus fertilizer, every time you do a pass, it gets a little bit darker. You can actually see each pass that you do. So they got that right. I mean, when we're done, if we were to come back and go over it with the next product, we'd be able to see where we did that product as well. So this is and I do overlap because this thing misses. It's almost like it's showing further out than it actually does at times. I don't know. Or I'm just losing my mind. Let's try it from here this time. But I hate having gaps in my work, so I overlap. And it's definitely not like Farm Sim where you can just drive in a straight line. This thing's bouncing all over the place in the ruts of the field and everything, which is kind of awesome. If you're gonna, FS17 is gonna be better. If it comes down to that, and you're wondering if you should buy it or is FS17 going to be better, I guarantee you FS17 is going to be better just because of the... Well, my map will be over there, so that alone is a good... No. But because the modders are over there, and they've got such a head start. It's going to have some cool new features that everybody's going to want to check out. So you can't really look at it this way. I don't know once that comes out when I will pick this up again, but that's a month and a half away, and I'm pretty sure I can get my money's worth out of this game. I've already probably got 10 hours into it already. I'll get the enjoyment out of it up until that time, and it'll be a nice break when, you get those just frustrated from playing the same game for weeks on end and you want to do something a little different one day. That's when I'll pick this up. That's what I did with the 16 version. A little bit here and there. But if you're going to just pick the better of the two because you have a small budget and can't afford to get them both or whatever, Farming Sim 17 is still going to have the lead. And my map, I don't know when I'll get around to making a map on this. I'm going to look at it when more tutorials come out. But it's one of those things that, I should probably do that other field while I'm here. I know I didn't buy it. Look at that. See, you turn in the bad spots and you're getting stuck on... I mean, the terrain issues are really cool. You got to pay attention to what you're doing with the terrain here. And when it gets wet, it's even worse. And they're tweaking it to make it better every time. But yeah, definitely FS17 has such a lead and such a budget. You're not going to get dynamic terrain if you want to spin tires type terrain. You got to think of also what are you looking to get out of the game. I think this is more realistic. I love the seasons. I love the fact that you do everything on your farm in a lot. You can't have one field being harvested while you're planting the other one. It just doesn't work that way in real life. And this game goes get everything seeded, fertilized, and harvest at the end of the season, then the beginning of the season, repeat the process. It's actually the way it's supposed to be done. And you have years. The years go by, so you can kind of gauge how many years you've been operating your farm, and how you can, if you're a stat person, you can figure out how much profit you're making in it annually on your farm. All that stuff's missing from Farm Sim because of the way they do it. A buildable UPK add-on for the for FS15 I don't know if the tutorial is going to work, but a buildable add-on, we could show you how take a look at the orchards. You want it for an add-on. Yeah, it's the same way as, I don't know if we did we do? Yeah, we did a UPK building already. We just didn't make it buildable. If you follow the same principles as that UPK building I made, but just copy a whole factory out of the map that's buildable, it would work as an add-on. You could move it. It can be done. I think that if you really looked hard enough, you'd find what you need to know out there. But maybe we'll do that on Tuesday or something. Yeah, we can look in that for Pleasant Valley Rivers. I didn't show how to make it buildable, but the UPK part is pretty straightforward, and we've done how the building is complex. So making a building that's buildable is almost hard to explain. Making one that's already done into a buildable object, like taking a factory, altering it a little bit, and making it into an add-on can be done. Except for, actually, the stuff that's done with the new factory script, the Russian script, can't be done as an add-on, so you'd have to do, but something like a buildable bridge can be done, placed on the map. We could turn one of those easily into I don't know, what do you have in mind that you were going to do? That's the big question. Yeah, I enjoy it. And I actually like teaching it too. So, if you guys have something during this downtime, we can explore. But let me know what you're trying to build, because there are some drawbacks for each of those projects that might not be able to be done if you're trying to do something that can't be done as an add-on or something like that. So we are at 92%, 93% herbicides. One thing to note as well, did I run out? I did. Darn it, I don't have money to buy anymore. Oh well, it's going to be a rough year. I might have to sell that grass picker upper. I don't need it right now. I just haven't figured out how to sell vehicles yet. Fold this sucker up. But if it can be done, I like to teach them. I don't mind. This is a time of year where not much is going on, so I could throw out something if. But I'd like to make sure I cover exactly what you want. So, and if make sure it can be done. There are some things that sound like good ideas, but just can't be pulled off. Let me see. Where is that's the fertilizer spreader I need over there. Interesting how it jumped me inside the cab when I dropped the sprayer. You can only sell at the shop. And I don't know how to do that yet. But I can definitely get some money for... Let me grab this, because this is my fertilizer. I'll get a couple layers, then it's almost full. So we can definitely hit these two fields with the fertilizer. But yeah, I think I'm going to have to sell off the mistake buy. I thought I could pick up the windrow from the wheat with that other thing, and it doesn't do windrow, unfortunately. So you noticed we put a layer down on this field already. As I go over it with this fertilizer, even though it's a little bumpy, you can look back and you will see this fertilizer on the field as well. You can see where I did. It kind of changes the texture again. And that happens no matter, it seems no matter what order or what you're putting down, you'll get a different texture, so you can see where you've already sprayed, which is pretty cool. This is actually lightening it up. Yeah, you know what I mean. Lightening it up. Well, if anything, I hope I showed you guys some of the cool things about this. I just think I I actually think the game is worthy of the $20 if you can afford it. You'll get some fun out of it. Uh, it's not gonna you can't really compare it to Farm Sim, but it has some different things to offer. The orchards, the greenhouses, even the animals, which we haven't even touched on yet. But I think for the next half hour, in a little bit, once I finish this field up, we'll jump over to that other map, get the money back, and let's buy some. Well, I don't have. We could at least look at some animals, I think. Buy their barns. And they're done. Everything's done differently. The seasons, the leveling up of your characters. I mean, abilities and stuff, and how they affect your gameplay. It's all a lot of different. I'm not saying it's better, but it's a different game. It's like playing 7 Days to Die and the Ark. They're both survival games, and you can like them both. That's all I'm trying to get at, because of they both are farming, but they're so entirely different from each other that you got to kind of look past some of the annoyances in this while they're working on them and enjoy the fun stuff that's in here. but some people can't. If you are a member of the Instant Gratification Society, you're not going to like this game because it's a farming game where you actually have to put in the work on your farm. You can't dump $1 million extra dollars in. You can't, which is I think is awesome. I mean, I'm sitting here with 53 bucks in the bank, and I want so bad to get out of this beginner equipment, but I do know that my stupid three little fields that I have here are gonna make me $15,000 probably for the next season, maybe a little more. But and I'm gonna have to spend about another 2,000 back in seed and fertilizer for the next year. So I'm gonna net about 13 grand for all the work on this season until I can get enough to buy another field. Fields are relatively inexpensive. I might be able to get one in the upcoming for the next season if that's the way I want to go, but I definitely am not going to be able to afford a new tractor for a I've got a 5-year loan here. I think it might even be more than 5 years. But did I fertilize this one? Let me jump on the call. I can't even remember. Plowed, cultivated, fertilized. Yep, 99%. It's often difficult to get that last 1%, but it might be right here on the edge. Nah, it still reads 99. I'm happy with 99. 98 on the herbicides. So it definitely has a lot to offer. Hope your character likes the taste of peanut butter. Hmm. Yeah, I agree. If they had waited a little longer, there's a big risk doing what they did, and I think developers have to. I don't know. I think that their thinking is if they waited and came out after Farm Sim 17, and I understand them for doing it. That's going to be the better game, and if people have to choose one or the other, they're going to look right over this. Things like having to lower they take getting the spreader before you can unhook it. Take a little getting used to, but it's a little bit more realistic than dropping it in midair. So they rushed it out so they can get some sales before Farm Sim 17 comes out. If they came out about the same time, and if I even had to choose between one or the other, you're going to get Farm Sim 17. People are at the point now they played the heck out of 15. They want to do something a little different in between. Then this is the game to take up that spot, you know? So let's see if I could sell this at a vehicle shop. Let's find a vehicle shop. Can I sell it at used equipment? I guess I probably would. It's used and it's equipment. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of peanut butter either. So, but there's so much potential and their willingness to fix things at least for now. We if they would stay on it and keep the communications up and everything, there is a lot of potential for this to be a really great game. And I want to, I like to follow those things. I get more fun watching things develop and cattle and crops and farm expert and pure farming that you guys if you guys are like me, you're doing a search every day seeing if there's any new information or videos out there. Well, maybe not every day, but but often, and following the games, seeing how they're progressing. It's kind of fun. And then getting your hands on it to see what they did. All right, so where do I sell them? If I enter sale, oh, there we go. I'm going to get $10,000 back. Thank you so much. I think. Oh yeah, we're rich. I didn't need that right away. That was a waste of money. Now I can finish up the fields without having to do all the work. Actually, believe it or not, I'm not 100% sure the specs are on their website, but the specs are higher than FarmSim on this, and that's because they're trying to do things that take a little bit more memory. And the dynamic terrain giants said it can't be done, and still have people. They even said in their little talks that they want kids to be able to run Farm Sim on their dad's laptops because there's a large portion that have the lower end computers. That is not so much the case. You require a little bit higher specs with this game, but it wasn't too bad. I can't remember offhand what they are. You can jump on Steam and check it out. It says it right on their store page. A little bit more than the others, but that's due to the dynamic terrain, I'm sure. Uh, Definitely takes some time. So let's see. If I jump out, let's check out. Let's get some stuff done by plane. I like the plane. If I go to, let's zoom in on my map so I can see it a little better. So you can highlight over your field and you'll see that we protection antifungal is 0, insect protection is 0, protection against weeds is on there. It's fertilized. So let's get some flybys for herbicides. Did we do herbicides? Oh, no crops. You pay for nothing. There's no crops. Some of these, I see the flybys. They got to fix that. That is part of the problem. Apparently, you can't spray them till the crops are growing for those things. That is right. Forgot about that. That's a bug that they said they were going to fix. So we don't need to actually put those layers on. I do it with the other sprayer. Maybe for nothing, but it shows up and it got great results. Where's my field that I own that I didn't have anybody do anything with? This is it. So we need it plowed, cultivated, fertilized, and sown. If I step on my farm, I should be able to do that. So plow it, please. He's here. Give him a head start. Wonder what happens if I hire the cultivator right now. I'm gonna find out. The field work is already started, so you can't do that. Can I get a aerial spray with fertilizer right now? Not until, alright, so you can only do one step at a time. So let me go ahead a day. Finish that up. Then get my cultivator on that field. And then move ahead another day. That's done. And then I'm gonna commission an aerial fertilizer sprayer to swoop by. Come on down. The airplane will come soon. I forget. I never know if there's a pattern where they come from. But he'll be here soon. There he is. And that field's fertilized. Now all we need to do is get them. Let's get some wheat going on all three of them again. And that one there. Apparently it thinks I'm close enough to the farm to do the hiring, which is interesting. Wheat. on here. And wheat on here. So I spent a little bit of that money. Oh, look at, there's his tires. Alright, so he's going to sow wheat on that field. So yeah, things can go a lot faster if you have a little bit of money to spend. And then that guy's doing that field. I might have to move my tractor out of his way. But they're planting my wheat. Now I'm sure if I knew a little bit about farming, I'd know when you're supposed to plant the herbicides and insecticides for real. But I don't, so. Dynamic terrain, is that something? This is completely different, man. You dig up the ground in here with the tractors and you feel the bumps and it stays that way. A cultivator smooths it back out, but you see these divots in the ground that were left behind because the cultivator missed, and like that one big channel right there because it was a crummy cultivating job on that part. The seeder guy might fix some of it, but probably not. Oh yeah, seeding helps smooth it out. You can see it smoothing out a little bit. Every piece of the ground is its own little thing, and it, whatever you do. Another thing you guys got to remember, and what I talk about real farming, you can see the ground is actually shaping as we follow this guy. Smooths it out a little bit with the seeder here. And some of them dig bigger ruts, and the weather will pool on the fields if it started raining. It's pretty interesting. But what you got to remember is that everything you do in, as if it, almost like if it was real life. If I come back out here with a tractor and try to spray the fungicides or herbicide on the field when it's ready with a tractor, which you can do, the tires are going to ruin the crops that are already planted, whatever's seeded, wherever your tires hit. So you're going to lose some unless you hire the aerial sprayer to do it, or if you get a big enough sprayer that you only need to do a pass on the edges or whatever. But anytime you roll wheels on this field now that it's seeded, it will damage and lower the amount of that's actually seeded. You can walk on it, but you cannot drive on this now once they're seeded. So there you're telling speed up 2.5 months, 2.5 months advanced. Yeah, once this is planned, actually let's go a day to finish the job. Let's check it out here. Alright, so we're in April. We are planted. Everything is planted, seeded, fertilized, and herbicide has been sprayed. Insecticide and fungicides are not. But let's see what happens. We'll jump to the end of the month. We're now April 30th. We have all our fields ready to go. So we will go to the next month, which will be the first of the next month, and then we should start seeing something on the fields. Give it a sec. Sometimes you see, sometimes you don't. We don't have any problem with the field. Let's go further in the month, maybe near the end, because it definitely takes some time. We'll go right to the end of that month. There you go. Now we have some growth on the field. So I'm gonna do this season without doing the fungicide and the insecticide and see if it looks as good as it did the last one. So we'll go to the next day. And then we can, there's every month you pass, bank loan 1,000 plus 5% gets paid back. And we are in what month? June. So we can go to the end of June. July is where we gotta, with the crops. See, they're green now. At the end of June, looks pretty good. Now this is where I went wrong. The last night when I told you look at all the grass in there, actually I jumped too far ahead of the harvesting season was the biggest problem. So that's why we saw so much grass. So what we have to do once we have the green stuff, go to the next day and then we'll go week by week so we don't miss the big harvest. There goes another $1,000 of my loan. It's tough when you got such a big loan. Okay, so now we're gonna go 1 week at a time until we have, and I give it a couple seconds to draw in just in case. You never know when it's gonna jump and switch. Go to the 15th. 15th of July, and it changes every year. Still nothing. I'm sure it depends on the weather that I am not paying attention to. Go to the 22nd of July. There we go. A nice fields of wheat. There is a little bit of weed on the edge. Not too bad. The herbicides are still on there. It's ready for 100% ready for harvest. I wonder if that's when you spray it, because it hasn't used the herbicides at all. Is this when you spray it when it's ready? I have no idea. I'm not a farmer. But we can get the combine out. We'll get Carl. Hello, Carl. Carl Knapstrupper. Oh, Carl, you forgot your head. P to connect Carl's header. And over to the fields. Looks a lot better than yesterday's field, and I don't know if that's due to the fact I've been taking the extra steps or if it's just that the synchronization. I think it was if I went too far. You can see green in there. If I went too far ahead in the time, it would probably get worse. But R for header down, T for starting it, and 2 is the speed to harvest at. And I missed a little bit in the beginning. It's does that. Tells you to move on speed 2 and then tells you you're moving too fast. It should fix itself, but yeah, we're getting most of it. Definitely going to be a better harvest than last time, but I do think if I do the fungicide or fungicide, whatever it is, and the herbicide, that it gets even better and you don't see the little green spots in there. Speed 2. It keeps telling me I'm going too fast. I can go to speed 1, but it says you can harvest on 2. It says it right there in the bottom left. 2 set. I don't know French. Anybody? Where's the translators? Please. I have no idea what he's saying. No. Yeah, I've got its speed control is fine. And it will overheat, but for some reason it says I can use keys 1 to 4. Cruise is set to 2 for doing the harvester. But when you set it on 2, you get the going too fast message. Unless I'm hitting the wrong number. That's 2 right there. So it's saying I'm going too fast even though I have 2 set. So I'm backing it down to 1 just to slow it down a little bit and get rid of the message. And not miss any spots. But it is kind of cool. You get those little grassy spots or weeds in the field if it isn't done perfectly. And it ruins your yield wherever that stuff is. So there's a lot more to being a good farmer in this game, which is what I think is pretty awesome. Combine speed control. Controlled speed. Yep. I keep it controlled except for on the ends when I step on the gas. Then it tells me I'm moving too fast. But I'm not on the field. Otherwise, the crops look decent, I think. They all sway at the same time. The combine works good for a small combine, and it's only going to get easier if I ever get any money to get the bigger equipment. But I think the best way to go if you're playing on one of these games is to keep getting fields for quite a while until you're turning, at least enough to get a greenhouse. 100 grand. Save up for greenhouses. That's probably the best way to do it. But it's going to take another 5 years till I can get the greenhouses at least. Whoa. Wrong key. Wrong pedal. I stepped on the gas instead of the reverse. It's going to take, if this is only going to produce $15,000 a year with 3 fields, then I might want to take and find. I know there's fields out there that don't cost 15 grand. They're like 9,000. I might want to make an investment and get a couple more going because it's slow going in the beginning. Yeah. I think they do move a little bit in FS. Some of them do, don't they? In 15? It's just noticeable here. Very noticeable. Yeah, it's not overheating right now. This engine, I control the speed. I could, if I shut off the header to do the turns, which I'm too lazy, or lift it like I just did, then I don't get the message. But you know me. That's an extra step. I don't take extra steps if I don't have to. Yeah, this is Farm Expert 17. Farming a whole new way. Yep, this is a PC game. It's not out on any other platform, I don't think. I think it's PC only right now. And it was just released yesterday, and yes, there are a lot of issues with it. But there's also, as you guys can see, if you compare last night's with tonight's, I think that the multiplayer was really causing more issues than... Yeah, it's a much more playable game in single player for sure. They need to work on that multiplayer stuff a lot, unfortunately. So yeah, if you're planning to buy this to play multiplayer, then don't buy it. That I can say. If you are going for single player and want something different to hold you over till Farming Sim 17 comes out, it's fun to play and you can check out some cool new things. And they are still working on fixing up stuff, so it should get better, and the annoyances shall slowly dissipate anyway. They've already made some major improvements in one day's time, and they're working on it and responsive in the forums, so give them credit. They don't. If there wasn't Farming Sim right now, everybody would be playing this and they would be praising it because it would be the best. This would be number 2 right now. It is number 2 right now until the other ones come out, but that's the way it is. You know, if there wasn't any other farming game to play, these guys would be making the millions of dollars. And I can guarantee it because there's nothing else that comes. This is number 2 that's out there. That's all there is to it. You can take your professional farmer or whatever else is out there, and most of those are in agricultural simulator. They're all junk compared to this. You think this is bad? Try one of those out. I guarantee you, if Giants wasn't around, these guys would have all those sponsors by now and they'd be on top. But somebody's got to be on top. They're playing catch up all the time. And I can guarantee you too, the Giants watches this game and there's features that are coming out in 17 that were in here last year. So they're watching, they're seeing what's working and what the little cursor to waypoints around the map. You'll be seeing that make its debut in Farming Sim 17. Exactly. They're making progress. If I support it for none other than that fact. Even if I wasn't playing it, I'm not going to return it because they they're working on such a much smaller budget that it's going to be hard for them to compete. They got to put in the work, and they're showing effort here for what little sales they get compared to Giants, It's a good game for, like I said, for what it is. If Giants wasn't here, everybody'd be playing here. And I'm up to supporting their effort. I got to talk to those guys over there because I've seen a lot of these people that they released these beta copies to just bash the game in their videos. It's like, and I'm probably going to be their #1 supporter because I want them to succeed more than anything. And I didn't get one, so they gotta find me. I gotta write them a letter, tell them to watch this. Yep, gotta start somewhere. Just the fact that they had 16 out, they had to have enough sales to want to do 17. And I don't know if they had anything before Farming Expert 16, but they came back with version 17. So they do have a little bit of the market out there right now, and hopefully it'll keep growing for them and keep them coming back and trying to improve. They've got more brand names in here, not the biggest ones, but they're getting brand names, McCormick, and they've got the Crampy Trailers and some other brands in here, so it's growing. We'll have to see how it goes. And I'm thinking we are in a great, if you're a Farming Sim fan, it's going to be a great couple years coming up, I think, because Pure Farming looks pretty darn good, and Cattle and Crops looks pretty darn good, and they're new engines and new taking advantage of, well, not necessarily new engines, but they're putting in one of them's using an old engine, but their own adapted version of it. But they're putting some effort into trying to make some decent farming games, and competition in the field, somebody's going to rise to the top, and our games are only going to get better. You know, they're not going to. Some people might fail and not be here for a second version, but those that are fighting it out for the piece of the pie, it's going to be good. Giants say dynamic terrain can't be done, but if we have people switching to games like this because they have dynamic terrain and Giants doesn't, they're going to find a way to either up their specs so that they can include it or do something. That's all there is to it. When does Cattle and Crops? They don't have an official release date, I don't think. And neither does Pure Farming. But they're both going to be after Farming Sim 17. We do know that. They are trying to put out a better game than... I get why these guys released early, because they fall short on a little bit of, they've been around. They have a track record, 16. So, but the other guys, they got to make an impression. They're going to probably hold off until they know they got something really good and it's ready. You only get one chance to make a good first impression. That's the deal. So we're not even going to fill up this time with this field, which I did the last time, I think. I can't remember. $64% full on the combine from this one field. I probably shouldn't have hired the workers, but I wanted to show you guys how I don't have enough money to hire workers. I've invested it all in all of this equipment. Now, if I could I wanted to be able to bail. I gotta look into getting baling equipment because I'm just letting all this windrow on the fields go to waste year after year. Although this is only the second year, but that windrow is money. You bale it up. There's a bale sell point down there. I just couldn't afford the baler, much less a trailer to fill it. And I'm pretty sure that we can buy the front loader arms, or not even buy them, just put them on in the garage, so we don't need to pay any extra for that. But we need a trailer to haul them out. I absolutely am. I already started my map. Hopefully, I'm looking forward to seeing if I can convert last two from last year over and continue working on Pleasant Valley 17 in the process. I'm hoping we get those out. It's going to be some work, but I can't wait to see the new features. Can't wait to see how we can implement the trains that you drive and all that stuff. That stuff's what's exciting to me. Seeing what they come out with and how I can use it and surprise people by finding different ways to use new features and stuff is pretty cool. Sometimes they're goofy ideas like soccer ball spawners, but hey, they're fun. Now, will we be able to make a basketball spawner for the? I don't know what we'll be able to do, but if we can, I don't know how the picking up of objects is going to work, but that's something that they did add in there. Some objects, if it's just purely by mass, the mass of the object that's programmed in there, then we can start putting What did I do? Oh, hit the wrong button. We can start putting stones in the field that you have to rock pick your fields or and move them, throw them into your trailer by hand when you first start off and stuff like that. Who knows? I'm not saying it's gonna happen. It might be a bigger annoyance to people, but I'd like to add that layer of realism in it. Does it lag for being on this? I'm not getting lag in single player. It may look like I'm just playing, but I'm not lagging at all. Uh, on the multiplayer, we lag like crazy here and there. Just from synchronizing, it gets pretty bad at times. But I don't think I've lagged at all in single player. Yeah, I think you can use the bale. Yeah, the bales are used for animal feed. You can also sell them. I don't have a baler. One of these days. So much to find out about this yet. Never even owned an animal. I can't afford them. I mean, it literally makes you work to get your farm going for quite a while. So if that type of thing is not your thing, then you're going to get frustrated that you did all this work for 3 hours, 5 hours, whatever it is, and your bank account has an extra 10, 15 grand in it from doing all those fields. Because you make money in little steps until you get. I mean, it's going to be great when you have a ton of fields to do in a season, but in the beginning, like this, that's why I took that other map that starts you with 500,000 and just went to the greenhouses to see if that's a better way. It probably is. You can make money faster there. And while you're working those greenhouses, start buying your fields and your orchards and getting them planted. Solar Valley, I think that's the way to go. And you start with all that cash, but only one tractor and nothing else. So you can literally do what you want. But if you go that route, you can't buy animals until you get the feed and stuff, the windrows and all that stuff for your animals. The animations of the movements are a bit too much. That has been said, and I agree. Some people actually say it makes them a little bit dizzy from watching. There's a little bit too much swaying back and forth from the crops, probably, I would say. It's lively, but it's a bit much, a little bit overboard. I can live with it. Some people might not be able to. But you know what? The cool thing is if you just, and it has been mentioned in the forums already over there on their thread, and let's see what, let's see how they react. They might just stop reacting, but so far they're paying attention to what people are saying. Thank you, Calamanzi, with Calamanzi 123 or 2123. I think that's how you say it. Thank you for the follow. Let's see, as long as they're being responsive and making the changes that people want, then I give them credit. They're trying. They're still trying. They want to see it succeed too. It looks that way right now. Responding, they got 2 threads over there that they literally, you type questions, they've been responding to the people that have been typing them. Individual people. Yeah, we can look into that. Yeah, that'll be done later next week, or we're working on that right now. They're they're keeping up with it. I think pretty good. Almost full. 88%. Yeah, so the extra steps I took last time of I've got much better yield by spraying the insecticide and stuff as well. That all makes a difference. I literally got from the 3 fields 3 trailer loads. I'm not even going to make 10 grand off of this season. So, and that is one of those cool things about this game is how varied it can be just from how good of a job you do. It should make a difference. You do a crappy job or miss things or whatever, then you should suffer. And that does not really happen in Farm Sim 15 enough. You know, you gotta literally make sure you don't do a couple steps, your yields go down and you pay for it. And I definitely noticed a huge difference because I emptied this combine 3 times on the 3 fields that I had, plus a partial fourth. And here I haven't even emptied it once, and I'm almost done with field 2. And all I left out was the fungicide and the insecticide on these 2 fields. Yeah, you play on hard. I always play on hard mode in that game, but it's still easier. It doesn't make you pay for messing up the job. I mean, you fertilize it once. Now, the new version is coming out, and you are going to have multiple steps, I guess, that you will have to do. And you will have to plow your fields every third time for optimum yields. I haven't even checked to see what the soil is still Class A, but you got to watch your acidity on the fields here. And if it gets off, you're going to have to put some lime down every now and then to bring your fields back to life. So you got to work for it, and that I like. That and I guess my other major thing that I like is that the way the seasons line up. You work for the year, you're done, you see what you have, and you start the process over. It's not plant this field today, harvest it tomorrow, plant it again, and harvest it again the next day. You do your whole farm. And as soon as you advance the season or run out of time, you're out of luck. And if you forget and don't harvest something, like pick your apples off your apple trees, and you go to the next season, they're all dead. You have dead apples. Now this field over here looks like it had a rougher time. Oh, that is I overheated the engine. I overheated the engine because I didn't lift the thing. Usually exiting it and getting back in will cool it down. Look how bad that field is. So I did something wrong. I'm not sure what, but it's there's I did something a lot wrong with that one. I mean, look at all the weeds in there. So I don't know if I didn't put any, but it's definitely worse than the last field. So we didn't care for it quite right. I didn't check. It was plowed, cultivated, fertilized, but we didn't have any herbicide, insecticide, or fungicide, where I did get it on the other 2 fields. So you see, just that one extra step missing, you could tell how much worse this field looks than the other ones. And that is something that I think is pretty darn awesome that Farming Sim does not have. I'm going to pay for a much lower yield because I didn't spray anything on this field other than the fertilizer. And you could just look at all the grass that's mixed in, or all the green that didn't ripen, or whatever it is. I don't know, but it goes away when I combine. But it's not going into the combine as increasing. It killed the yield on this field. So definitely try to get all 4 steps in there. There, I'm full. I'm full. Let's get the F key. And go to my Lindini tractor. I do like, and Giants did that too, but they did it here first. Uh, an extra menu where you can see the vehicle like on the side there and jump right to it. Giants is going to do that again as well in 17. But previously you just tab through or try to find it on the map. You couldn't see it individually. I like the way we can just jump in the vehicle. RHWVU79. Thank you for the follow. And welcome to the stream, which has probably... Oh, I'm not going to go too much longer tonight. But I'm going to get this combine emptied over here, wherever it is. I'm going definitely the wrong way. I still get lost around here. This is the backyard. Get me out of this place. There's a field over there. That's not the field I was working, though, is it? Yeah, it is. That's one of them. So it's over this way. Round the corner. And another little bit of realism that I'm not going to show you, but I'll explain to you. Whoops, don't do that. You can dump a trailer right on the ground in this game. As well as, so you hit the wrong button. Goodbye all your stuff. Oh wait, I just got back in the same tractor. Get out of there. We got to get in Carl. Carl is over here. Just the pipe here. It's over the trailer. It doesn't start until I hit the V key to start it. And if I did that and it was over the ground, say goodbye to all my grain. It disappears on the ground. You lose it. So you got to make sure you're over the trailer. You can literally dump it on the ground and have it all disappear. How long did they roughly take to make this? Well, let's put it this way. See, this is one of the little bugs. It still says it's emptying, but the trailer is full. But when I stop pouring, it'll go back up. It says that I have 8% in here. If I jump out and I go back into that, it should show the actual amount. It's one of those little no, it still says 8. Maybe when I start pouring on another trailer. But it does recover what's missing. Yeah. They did a 16 version, Farm Expert, that included a lot of what you see already, so they had some to expand on. The orchards were in. Where do I dump this? Where's that silo side? That's the pickup. I'm going to dump it in the silo for now. Silo dump spot is on this side. Yeah, they had the orchards in. They had a lot of the stuff in, but what's new in here with the greenhouses and the new ground physics, that's all added this year. So it's just like any other game. It's been started. It's not like they did all of this in 1 year. There's very much of it that was done prior to this year, and then they're expanding on it, but they're putting some really cool stuff in. I got it last year just for the orchards, and I love do in the orchards. You can literally, I should have turned all these fields into orchards in the beginning. They're cheaper to run. Let's go back to Carl and see what happens. July 22nd, I apparently didn't turn down the time speed. Alright, so it says he has 8%. Let's see if it's really 8%. Our V key? Yeah, I guess it was. We only had 8. So let's turn that, close that pipe, and whoops, I just disconnected his head. F, that's what I was trying to do. We need more, but this field looks disastrous. Yep, if I tip the trailer right where it is, and let me see, I am pretty darn sure I don't have a lot in there, so I don't mind doing tests like that. Because I don't know if I'm going to continue this game, because I really want to I like the greenhouse game. So, let's see, we have 19% in the trailer. If I tip it up, there goes, nothing. All on the ground, all gone. So you can lose it just by hitting a button. We lost all that. 19% of that trailer load onto the ground. Fire that guy. They aren't much money. The greenhouses are the way to go, and that other save game. I just didn't want to bore you with just greenhouses on the stream tonight. So I jumped in and did a little bit of everything. Now what's going on? Oh, the header's not on. Alright, now it's on. Tried to show a little bit of everything. I've already foobarred this save game enough that it's making it very difficult to play, which is cool. I mean, but I've got $6,000 left, and my yield from this season isn't gonna be too great. So I think I'll be moving over to the one with the greenhouses and using that to supplement my income until I can get more stuff going and then get the fields. Because this is slow going, especially when you plan them as bad as I did this time. Not enough money for the cereals. You got that right. You don't get a lot. And just to show you, we had the 3 fields. Yeah, I dumped some. No big deal. Let's go, let's do that. Let's sell it, and we'll get an idea of what we're going to get per trailer load. And we only got a trailer load. And I'll call that an evening once I do that. We'll jump over here. We'll load up the silo from the silo. It's getting dark. Let's slow down the time. I'm on 24 times speed. I'm sitting here, what's going on with the graphics? But it's nighttime. So we jump over here. One of the cool things is I don't have any capacity to hold anything but wheat until I can afford to buy a silo for something else. That's why I've only been doing the wheat. And as we add silos, they'll go there. I can increase the amount of wheat that's held, but hey, I don't have a place to put wheat, so I'd have to sell it off directly if I mean anything else. If I plant anything else, I'm going to have to go sell it off directly. That's all right away. No place to store it. Wheat is my only silo right now. Alright, so we have to sell this to a grain sales place, which is right here, purchase of grain. We'll mark that. It's pretty easy to get around once you figure things out, you know? I mark things and then try to hopefully have roads in front of me. And as long as I keep getting closer and don't go off a cliff. But you get used to the terrain after a while. I know if I go up here, there's a road that wraps around, and then I can get on that road on the other side. Other side of that field. I don't want to run over that poor farmer's field. I'll put dents in it. Let's see. It's alright. They're working on the dynamic fill planes, you could see. Now what they have it right, but they don't have the vibration of the vehicles making it level back out. So it's not, it kind of stays pointed up. That's where I was pouring it from the silo, and it spreads out. But yeah, they just need it so that when you're driving, it flattens it out. But that was new too. That's their first experiment with it. I'm sure they'll try to tweak it. The trailer's bouncing around like crazy. That has to do something with the terrain physics, because I played this 2016 version and none of the vehicles behaved like they do now. They did not bounce around. They were actually quite smooth. Yep, gotta buy a separate silo for each type that you wanna. Definitely, it's a good thing. It makes it interesting. You want to store barley, you have to buy the barley silo first. And then they have upgrades on those silos too, so not only can you purchase them and they'll hold so many tons, but you can upgrade them to increase the tonnage a couple times, I think. So here we are, we're at $6,901 and one trailer load, which is almost about all we're going to get off of this. Less than $6,000 for those fields. That's my season take, just about. I'll get another couple $100 from what's left, but you can see out of that 6,000, because I did such a crummy job this year, and let's do that right now too, just to give you an idea. I know right now that if I go into the menu, I go to the agriculture store, I have plenty of wheat seeds stored, that's fine, but I need to go, I have to have, in order to get perfect, I have to make sure I have 2,000 I'm going to need, because I forgot about that. 2,000 herbicides. I didn't spread these, so I don't have to buy as much. And I need 2,000 fungicide. I don't need lime. And I need to have 2,000 fertilizer. That will get me through the next season. So it's not a big expense, but I've got $11,000. I still can't buy anything. It's getting dark out. So you got to have your expenses. I've got $11,200 left. I'll let that ride for the next season. This way. This way. Streetlights work. See that? They're a little flashy. The lighting, I've watched some videos. The lighting should be pretty awesome in Farm Sim 17 now. But these lights are already they're turning on and off. They're actually casting, the street lights are casting good light on the things. I wonder if the vehicle lights work on this thing. See, now let's try something here. This would be interesting. Alright, we don't have lights when we're out of the vehicle. Which in Giants, I guess you can keep the lights on a subject. But in the new one. But it's casting light out in front of us. You can see it illuminating the road pretty good. So, could be worse. The lights come on when you get close because otherwise if they all came on all full all the time, you'd have serious lag. A setting to turn off the giant spinning balloons. Is there giant spinning balloons? Which giant spinning balloons? I didn't see any spinning balloons. Did I? I don't know. But probably not. I can show you the settings. We'll go through that real quick before I end the show. And I'll be back on Tuesday night. I hope if everything goes well, that's my plan. We'll see. I don't know what I'll do yet, but we'll be back Tuesday night. Maybe jump in and show you a little bit of something different by then on here, because I will be playing a little bit here and there. And maybe I'll even jump in before then, but I'll definitely be here for Tuesday. And maybe we'll do some more work on Pleasant Valley 17. Okay. Oh, the balloons. These dude balloons right there. That's what he's talking about. The floating balloons. So once you know where everything is and you get used to it, let's go to the settings, game options. You can change your gamma correction, your mouse sensitivity, response speed of the mouse, sensitivity of your controller, information. If we go to no and then resume game, they're gone. So no more bubbles, but I still need them. So game options, steering realistic. I've been running on easy mode. If I go to realistic, you actually have to upshift and downshift your vehicles. I don't know why it has steering, but you gotta go through the gears. Let's resume and see how that works, just for demo. So if I jump in here now, it says that space. Now I gotta actually hit the space to start the engine because it's realistic mode. I have to use Z to change direction, F to gear up, and V to run down, and hold range to change. I don't know. F is gear up. Let's see what happens here. So I'm going this fast unless I hit F. Let me get out to a road. It'd be easier. Come on. F again. Does it? Oh, I'm in 4A. Says it on my. Now I'm in 5A. Is there a road over here somewhere, or am I just going out into a field? That's the road's over there. So now I'm in 5A, 6A. If I hold it down, now I'm in 6C, B, C, D. So yeah, I have to shift. I guess, and then V to downshift because I'm having trouble on the hill. 6C, B, A. Oh, the range. Yeah, I'm not very good at this gears, but you have to shift, and if you want to reverse direction, yeah, I wouldn't want to. I don't want to play forever either, but I do want to get used to it. Probably just until I own everything that I can buy or whatever. I don't know when I'll shut them off. Yeah, so I'm in 2A now because I finally got it to downshift. F gears up. 2B, 2C. If you hold it down, it goes to B, C, D. I don't know any. Now I'm at 6D, and I can't move because it's too high of a gear. That's why I play realistic. I don't want to mess with the gear. I don't play realistic. I don't want to mess with the gear settings because I suck at it. That's all there is to it. So I go to easy mode. Then your graphic options. I have custom settings with right now everything's maxed out. It can't get any more maxed out than what I have. And sound options, I have my music off because it plays music when you're in a cab. Now you'll hear it a little bit. Whenever you're in the game, and it plays these pre-recorded music bits when you're in a tractor. Don't know if you guys can hear it. Which can get annoying after a while. So, whoops. In sound options, turn the music off. Other than that, your controls. I'm using the Cytec wheel and pedal. It's selected. Another thing that I did find out is that now it's not working. Yeah, I did. Is it the everything but WASD still works on the keyboard with the steering wheel plugged in, but I can't override and just use the keyboard for WASD because it's using the steering wheel settings. So that's interesting. All the rest of the keys work, hooking trailers and everything else, even though they're on the steering wheel as well. And there's a lot of objects you can knock around, like the garbage cans. Well, maybe not. There you go. Move, garbage can. Now if you can run into it, I can't knock it over, but these can be moved around. You see the crates jumping around a little bit. Can't pick those up though. So it's got some interesting stuff. I'm digging it. Those help balloons are like, I don't know why they're up above our head either. It's like, hello, we're down here. Why are you so high up in the air? What is that thing? Just electrical boxes. Barrels move? Oh yeah, we can move some barrels. So the objects are movable around the map if you push them around. Now if only they had the pickup on those and I could put them on a trailer, but I can't. Alright guys, I think... Oh, knock over the garbage can. What are you, a raccoon? Well, you know, you gotta try things. The barrels even move around. The tires don't. The doors that open, pretty cool. We can go upstairs. I don't know what we can do with the upstairs in a building like this other than look out the windows. But you can look out the windows. Can we open the window? Oh, look at this. We can let in some fresh air. I mean, come on now. You don't even have that in Giants mods, I don't think. Opening the windows. That's pretty sweet. So we got a nice pad up here that we can open all the windows in. But we're not going to get anything, vehicles up here or anything. Awesome. Check it out. We can open windows. And look out. Notice how the view gets a little blurry at times, but hey. Pretty cool. Realism added. We've got a desk here. Can we open a drawer? That would be just too much, wouldn't it? If we could open the desk drawers. Or the garbage. Oh, look at that. Wow, I can't move this little garbage can, but I think I could push this thing down the street pretty easy. It must be on wheels. Look at that. Alright, you know when I'm doing stupid stuff like this that it's late, so... There. Yeah, tell me about it. Let's put a sniper rifle in there. Look at those. I did notice one thing, and I don't know if it's me or not, but I can't open that. It annoys me. Is that I can come over. Alright, we just opened up some of the stuff down. They reset without even leaving the game. What? There's something in there. I could see your crack. There's a bench in there. Wait, I can see through the crack a little bit. Now I can't. Looks like there's a bench on the inside of the building that I can't get in. Weird. Is it over there? Nope. So you can open doors up on these buildings over here, and they shut on their own when I'm not looking. And I like to leave them open till the day is done. Like where I put my plow. I've opened these before and left the area. See, they're open, they're fine. I don't know when they close, but I've gone and done a field and then turned around just to go back and find them always closing on me. I don't know if there's a timer or how it works, but they do close by themselves, and it's not at the save game when you save or when you reload the game, because I've stayed in the game and come back a while later, so there is a timer or something on these doors that will close them up on us. There's a balcony in this one too, but I don't think there's sniper rifle windows. There is a window we can almost jump out of, but it won't let me. Check it out though. Oh, there is sniper rifle windows in there too. There you go. So I guess you could sleep up here at night and wait till the next day. You're gonna get beds and stuff. No more fast forwarding. You gotta... Ooh, look at that window. Woohoo! And the lights. I think you can turn off and on the lights. Right here. Check it out. Light this place up. So you're not afraid of the dark. You can turn on the lights at night. That's pretty awesome. And it's... Was this one? I didn't hit this one, I don't think. There's another one. Adds the light to it. So you can light up your barns at night. Pretty cool stuff. Yeah, I would say it has to be on a timer when you're outside of the area. I don't know how big that area trigger is. But they do close up on you. But I like it. I'm liking a lot of it. It needs work. That's all we can say. Hey. Well, guys, I gotta go because my date's here for the evening. Oh, wait. Well, we could put a bag over it. She'd been out in the fields. It's time for us to hit the hay. Okay. Thanks everybody for watching, and we shall see y'all soon. I had fun. I'm enjoying it. I'm gonna see what else I can discover. If I find anything cool, I'll jump on and let you guys know. Oh, look at UPS came when I wasn't here. No, I don't know what that is. Have a good night. We'll catch y'all later.